Now, I suppose there's some of you that wonder why you're here. Well, I suppose you thought that all it was reading a brochure and putting down your money and coming here. It's a lot more than that, folks. And you shouldn't go away from here without knowing what's behind it all. The reason that you're here, basically, I contend, centers around the interaction between two dynamic Americans. Their names are John Muir and Teddy Roosevelt. Their interaction, I think, is why you're here. Now, you know John Muir was that Scots boy, don't you? Came from Scotland to that area around Portage, Wisconsin. His father brought him. His father was a fundamentalist, itinerant preacher and farmer. Preached on Sunday and farmed 16 hours a day, and made his son, John Muir, farm 16 hours a day to try to make a farm out of that sandy loam. But there was Sunday. And what happened on Sunday is critical to your understanding why you're here. On Sunday, this itinerant preacher, father, Daniel Muir, would allow no book in the house, and 7 days a week, no book in the house other than the King James Version of the Bible. Furthermore, on Sunday, he required that his son John memorize the King James Version of the Bible. By the time John was 11 or 12, he had memorized the whole New Testament, the whole Old Testament by heart, word for word. That has significance for you. John Muir became one of the great writers and speakers of the late 1800s. He was incapable of speaking without the flair of that great work of literature called the King James Version of the Bible. His writing had that swing to it. How could it help but be? He was immersed in that book at his early age. So he was able to handle the English language in a way that caused you to be here. He wrote about his passion. His passion was wilderness. He wrote and talked about the idea of wilderness being of value in and of itself, beyond extractive resources. He convinced hundreds and thousands of Americans in the late 1800s, because of his ability to write and speak, that they should pay more attention to wilderness. You know, he grew up a fundamentalist like his father, and then as he watched how glaciers changed the face of the earth, he changed his theology and he became a pantheist, one who sees God in nature. So he changed his theology, and this is the way that we understand how he changed it. And this also shows you a little bit about his writing. One learns that the world, though made, is yet being made. That this is the morning of creation. That mountains long conceived are now being born, brought to light by the glaciers, channels traced for rivers, basins hollowed for lakes, that moraine soil is being ground and outspread for coming plants, while the finest part of the grist, seen hastening far out to sea, is being stored away in the darkness and builded particle on particle, cementing and crystallizing to make the mountains and valleys and plains of other landscapes, which, like fluent, pulsing water, rise and fall and pass on through the ages in endless rhythm and beauty.